And at number one, it's the backstroke. Perhaps not the simplest stroke to use, but my god, dear viewer, once you get going, you might just never stop. That was the wrong script, sorry about that. The Strokes, one of the most iconic names in modern rock history. I'm sure you've heard of them. If you haven't, I'm not really sure what you're doing here, but I'll get you up to speed, don't you worry, dear viewer. The Strokes are an indie rock band formed way back in 1998 in the Big Apple. Today I'm going to rank every song the Strokes have ever released on this tier list here in order to crown the grand champion of Strokes. I'm going to go in chronological order here, starting with the band's first record. Let's hop in. Is This It? A chill opener that I think sets the tone perfectly for this record. It's a very simple track, a little laid back, but very easy to get into, and a genuinely ludicrous bass line as well. This is what it's all about, to be honest. I'm going to go early masterpiece tier from me. The Modern Age, one of the band's first true classic tracks. Great riffs and kind of non-stop energy throughout this track. Really interesting song lyrically as well. Infectious listen. Hard not to smile. Great stuff. I'm going amazing tier. Soma, a slower song that doesn't stand out immediately, but gets better every time I hear it, I think. It's really fun guitar lick, some damn good energy across the board, nothing too complex here, but it's good time. I'm gonna go back at the masterpiece tier. Barely Legal, it's a fun garage rock track with plenty of kind of gumption, I would say, even if it isn't one of the album's biggest highlights per se. Still has all that strokey goodness you come for, really damn good chorus, and another track that's just a lot of fun. I'm gonna go back of amazing. Someday, easily one of the Strokes' best songs. It's catchy, it's nostalgic, it's impossible not to love. You know this one, let's stay on our toes. Back of the masterpiece tier. Alone Together, a groovy, deeper cut, I suppose, with a darker sound than a lot of this record has. Fantastic guitar work across the board. Certainly one of the more unique tracks off of this project. I'm gonna go top of amazing. Last Night, one of the biggest indie rock songs ever made. Every part of it just kind of works. It's another one you certainly know. All I can say is that it kind of lives up to that hype. I think it's just a great song. Go amazing. Behind the Modern Age. Hard to Explain, another all-time great. This album's pretty good, no? Incredible guitars and one of Julian's best vocal performances to date. Lyrically pretty profound as well, I think. Honestly, it's one of my favorite tracks from these guys, period. Masterfully produced, masterfully mixed. Just peak stuff. I'm gonna go God tier. New York City Cops, loud, messy, kind of full of personality. It's a fan favorite track for good reason. Kinda sorta on the record, but it got replaced by the next track. Just focus up for a second, dear viewer. This is a banger. I'm gonna go really good. When It Started, a solid song that's often overlooked because of what it replaced. A lot of people like New York City Cops more. Me? No, I think they made the right decision, to be honest. I think this fits a bit better thematically and just sonically, to be honest. A lot of fun track, though. I like it. I'm gonna go back of amazing. Trying Your Luck, one of the album's most underrated songs, I would say. Really strong atmosphere. Guitar work is borderline legendary here, I'd say. Another heartfelt and fairly passionate performance from Mr. Casablancas. I'm gonna go behind Barely Legal in the amazing tier. Take It or Leave It, a fitting closer that ends the album with a ton of energy. Probably one of the weaker tracks on this record, to be honest. There's still nothing to scoff at, I wouldn't say. Chorus not as catchy on this one, I don't think. But again, still a good song. I'm gonna go top of really good. Whatever Happened, one of the strongest album openers they've ever made. Great from start to finish, legendary track. These guys certainly know how to start a project. Masterpiece tier, above Someday. Reptilia, probably their most iconic song, in the conversation at the very least. One of the best guitar riffs in indie rock, period, probably. I'm not one of those cats that think popularity means bad, so today, I'll run with the pack. And I'm gonna say top of God tier. Automatic Stop, super catchy track, and one of the easiest songs on the album to kind of revisit, I think. Incredible guitar work and some damn fitting vocals to pair with them. One of their best tracks for sure. I'm gonna go above Whatever Happened in the masterpiece tier. 1251, a slick, kind of poppier track with a very infectious chorus once again. Another goated guitar track, to be honest. The vocals aren't as sharp on this track, but some of the instrumental work on here is nearly blowing the socks off my feet. I'm gonna go amazing behind Barely Legal. You talk way too much, true. A good song that just happens to be surrounded by even better ones on this record, I think. Very heartfelt and passionate track, though. Very authentic piece within their catalog. It's good stuff, but not great stuff. I'm gonna go back of Really Good. Between Love and Hate. Really catchy track with some great guitar work. It's not a favorite of mine, to be honest, but it's definitely not a track I would skip. Something like that. Top of Really Good. Meet Me in the Bathroom. Messy track, but in a pretty cool way, I think. A little all over the place, to be honest, but still a super entertaining listen. I'm still captivated the whole time. The guitar is excellent here. Production is great. I'm gonna say back of Really Good. Under Control. Slower track that ends up being one of the album's biggest highlights, I think. Greatly benefits from the pacing of this track. A much needed break on this album and a very rewarding listen. It's great stuff. I'm gonna go back of the amazing tier. The Way It Is, short and energetic, but one of the weaker tracks here for sure. Not too much to discuss, to be honest. It's a pretty forgettable song. I think it's good. The End Has No End. Another standout with a huge chorus and kind of great pacing. Fantastic production, some elite instrumentation as well. Not really sure what my gripe is here, but it's never been a favorite of mine, and I have nothing to provide any reasoning for that. I'm gonna go Really Good behind New York City Cops. I Can't Win, an excellent closer that wraps this album up perfectly. Really fun and cathartic listen, I think. Lyrically dense, but not overbearing. Instrumentation is all there. Vocals are great. Julian still sounds like he wants to be here. This is more peak, man. I'm gonna go amazing. Behind 1251. You Only Live Once. One of the best songs they ever wrote, dare I say. Pretty much impossible to dislike, I think. Excellent vibes, catchy chorus, great lyricism and vocals. There's nothing bad about this song. It's peak. Top of the God tier. Jukebox, heavy, loud, and a fun change of pace for this band, I think. Kind of weirdly produced, to be honest, and a strange sound for the Strokes. It's not bad, but it's not what I'm coming for here, and it's not elite. I'm gonna go back of the good tier. Hard in a Cage, fast, tense, kind of mid, I'm afraid. Super mid, actually. I'm gonna go okay tier. Razorblade, super catchy with one of the best choruses on this project at the very least. Really strong guitar work, but even here the production sounds a little odd to me, a little out of their wheelhouse. But not in a bad way on this track specifically. I'm gonna go behind I Can't Win on the board. On the Other Side, a slower song that kind of grows on you over time. Maybe you, not me. This is solid at best. I'm gonna go top of good. Vision of Division. Crazy guitar playing makes this one stand out immediately. Very interesting track at the very least. But I think this one does sound pretty damn good as a whole package. Guitar is great. The vocals match it perfectly, I think. We go Really Good behind New York City Cops. Ask Me Anything. Very stripped back and definitely not for everyone. It's a really strange track. I'm not really sure what it's doing here. It's kind of depressing. It doesn't fit well. I'm going to go back of okay. Electricityscape. One of the most underrated songs in this project, I would say. Pretty great all around, to be honest. Guitar work is excellent. The vocals just the same. I like this one a lot. I'm going to go back a masterpiece. Killing Lies, decent, but doesn't leave much of an impression. Drums are kind of cool, I suppose, but that's all I really remember. Go decent stuff. Fear of Sleep, usually considered one of the weaker tracks on the album, and I can't say I disagree with that take. Feels very unserious for some reason, very goofy, even a little pretentious, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan. I think this is the first meh-tier track. It was all just a dream. 15 minutes. This track has some cool ideas, but it never really fully comes together. Pretty lax track, but not all that interesting. At least there's no auto-tune though, right guys? God, I hope that never becomes a problem. Top of okay. Eyes of the World, easily one of the best songs on this project. Fantastic guitar solo too. Sounds like everything coming together on this album for the first time since the opening track. Peak shit, man. I'm gonna go masterpiece behind Someday. Evening Sun, relaxed, catchy. Pretty underrated, I think. Certainly one of the simpler tracks here, but I think that works in its favor quite well. I'm gonna go good behind On the Other Side. Red Light, a nice closer that finishes the album on a high note. Pretty fun and light track, not much to overthink here, just very solid stuff. I'm gonna go the back of good tier. Machu Picchu, a fun opener with a different sound. Really pays off, I think. Introduces the album damn well. I'm optimistic here. I'm gonna go amazing tier, behind the Modern Age. Under Cover of Darkness, one of the band's best songs, man. Great hook, honestly. It's just fantastic. Great guitar work, great everything. Super catchy stuff. I'm gonna go back to God tier. Two Kinds of Happiness, bright, catchy, and easy to enjoy, I think. Nothing jaw-dropping, but not bad by any means. Kind of a cool 80s vibe going on. I had fun. I'm gonna go good tier, behind Juicebox. You're So Right. It's a weird and kind of heavy track. Some people love it, others really don't. I'm certainly others here. Very obscure track, kind of on theme with the album, I suppose. Not really all that fun of a listen. Some cool guitar work interspersed, but fairly forgettable track, I think, overall. I'm gonna go top of decent. Taken for a Fool, one of the best songs on the album without much debate, I don't think. Really fucking just groovy track. Killer bass lines, fairly sick guitar work. This is what it's all about. I'm gonna go masterpiece tier, behind Eyes of the World. Games, pretty mid stuff to be honest. Very strange sound to it, just not all that satisfying of a listen. Weird is the word I believe I'm looking for. Cool instrumental section towards the end though, not the worst thing in the world. I'll go top of the okay tier. Call Me Back, nearly as effective as a warm glass of milk at putting a fella like myself to sleep. Some fairly emotional lyricism here, but the music itself just doesn't really land. I'm gonna go okay, behind Heart in a Cage. Gratisfaction, just a fun rock song with a very infectious chorus once again. Fun enough, but not really what I'm looking for from these guys at this point. Nothing interesting about this track. I'm gonna go okay tier, behind Games. Metabolism, heavy and aggressive track, but not one of the fan favorites, and I'd certainly consider myself a fan. Some interesting guitar work on here, but again, it comes together fairly sloppily, very disjointed track. I'm gonna go back of good, it's not bad. Life is Simple in the Moonlight, a beautiful closer that's become one of the album's most loved songs, and I'm agreeing with the cats today. This is damn good stuff, and I wouldn't call it all that reminiscent of their earlier work either. It's a very unique sound even for the band, and they nailed that shit here. I'm gonna go masterpiece, behind Eyes of the World. Tap Out, a really strong opener with a smooth groove. Nothing to write home about, I don't think, but fairly strong stuff. I'm gonna go good tier, behind Evening Sun. All the Time, straightforward Strokes rock. Good, but nothing too memorable at this point in their career. Quite honestly, it's incredibly forgettable. Okay tier, above 15 minutes. One Way Trigger, I don't think I get this one. Pretty unique for sure, and a fairly catchy chorus here. Produced kind of strangely, I think. A couple weird decisions on this track. More interesting than the first two tracks for certain though. So I'm gonna go top of good. Welcome to Japan, fast, catchy, and probably the best track of the record so far. Really groovy guitar coupled with a very solid vocal performance, but the production here sounds far more Strokes to me than it has so far on this project. Really good. Above Take It or Leave It. '80s Come Down Machine, it's a very dreamy track with a very cool atmosphere, I think. Dreamy is really the best word I can use here. It's good stuff, but I think it's not really too much to grasp onto here. I'm gonna go good tier, behind Red Light. 50-50, a loud and energetic track. It's short, but a good time, I'd say. Vocals are a little strange here. I'll keep my review as long as the song. Back of the good tier. Low Animals, a laid-back song that gets better after a few listens, I think. Kind of grew on me. I had fun, to be honest. Pretty cool chorus and some pretty great vocals, I thought. I'm gonna go top of the good tier. Partners in Crime, kind of Dinosaur Jr. coded guitar work, if that makes you smile a little bit. It didn't make me smile, I'm afraid. Not really sure what the fellas were going for here, but I don't think it landed at all. I'm gonna go okay tier. Find Heart in a Cage. Chances. One of the prettiest songs they've ever made, lyrically, at least. The vocals are solid, lyrics are really sweet. The song itself is pretty alright, I'm afraid. Another forgettable song, I'm gonna go okay tier. Behind Games. Happy ending. Catchy synth pop track that at least keeps the second half interesting. Cool guitar throughout. Not competing with their best work, but it'd probably be Green Day's best song if that helps you sleep. I'm gonna go back of the really good tier. Call it fate, call it karma. Beautiful closer that's become a huge fan favorite over the years. Very almost submerged track that certainly creates a very unique and touching atmosphere. I understand the glaze here. I think this is pretty damn good stuff. I'm gonna go masterpiece tier. Behind Eyes of the World. Drag Queen, dark and experimental, definitely one of their stranger songs. The experimentation, I'm afraid, misconstrues depth and enjoyability, leaving me with a mediocre sandwich. Certainly heard worse from these fellas, though. I'm gonna go good tier. Above Red Light. Oblivious. Really catchy and sounds like classic Strokes with kind of a more modern twist. Really sick bass line and very reminiscent of Is This It in sound, I'd say. Kind of a return to form for the fellas. Very heartfelt track. I think this is pretty damn good. I'm gonna go masterpiece tier. Above Taken for a Fool. Thread of Joy. Another pretty fantastic song, to be honest. Certainly the most consistent project since Room on Fire. Albeit 3 songs, but that's still a true sentence, I'm afraid. Great vocals, catchy guitar, peak shit, man. I'm gonna go amazing tier. Behind Razorblade. The Adults Are Talking, one of the best songs of their career. Incredible opener, iconic track. You know this one again. Let's keep moving. Back of the God tier from me. Selfless, emotional, simple, and one of Julian's best vocal performances of all time. Really pretty track across the board. A rare auto-tune W from Mr. Casablancas. Masterpiece tier. Above Someday. Brooklyn Bridge to the chorus. Pretty bright track, very catchy. Jam-packed, I think. Synths are super cleanly done, produced really damn well, and a wide toothy grin on my face throughout. Good stuff. Gonna go masterpiece tier behind Electricity Scape. Bad Decisions. Feels like a song engineered to be a hit. Not even in a terrible way, just kind of a corny track, to be honest. Not bad by any means. It's fairly catchy. A little aggressively in-your-face, radio-friendly stuff. Some cool guitar moments, but not the best stuff here. I'm gonna go really good tier behind The End Has No End. I can't believe it. Life is such a funny joke. Eternal Summer. Ambitious and different for sure. Feels very out of place on this project, to be honest. There's some cool ideas here for sure, which the Strokes seems to have pretty consistently. It doesn't really flow all that well together. Probably the worst track on this record by a decent amount. I'm gonna go good tier. Above Drag Queen. At the Door, slow and emotional track with one of the band's most unique sounds, I think. Really tight lyricism, and a very emotional point on this record. A moment where the record kind of shifts into a much darker tone, I think. A favorable shift for sure. It's pretty sick stuff. I'm gonna go amazing tier above Razorblade. I love you in the morning, so you know it's no lie. Why are Sundays so depressing? One of the catchiest tracks on this album. Really cool chorus and fantastic mixing and great guitar work and great production. This shit's got it all, man. One of my favorites from these fellas, to be honest. Masterpiece tier above Someday. Not the Same Anymore. A slow burner that ends up being one of the emotional highlights of this project for me. Very personal track if I had to venture a guess, and very passionately delivered. Some of my favorite Julian vocal moments ever on this track. Some fantastic guitar work to back it all up. Really strong stuff. I'm gonna go God tier above The Adults Are Talking. Please don't hurt me. Ode to the Mets, an incredible closer. Probably the best song they've ever made. Absurdly good build-up into genuinely indescribable payoff is how I'd describe this song. Very raw and emotional shit. Would have been a fantastic track to go out on, but Julian couldn't let me sleep that well. Top of the God tier.
I don't care who turned blue.
Psycho shit. Raw and chaotic, but a fun look at the band's evolution, I suppose. A little scary usage of autotune here, but surely he won't use that throughout the record, right? Pretty bad stuff, to be honest, almost exclusively because of how bad the autotune genuinely is. It's really, really bad. It's our first bad song, I'm afraid.
Leave if you want, but I bet that you won't.
Dine and Dash, catchy and energetic with a lot of garage rock charm. Honestly, I think it's pretty damn good. I like it quite a bit. The autotune is hardly noticeable here, if it's even there, which I'm not sure, to be honest. But he sounds good here, man. He sounds good. The band sounds good here. I'm gonna go really good tier behind Meet Me in the Bathroom.
I would that years ago. I did.
Lonely in the Future, one of the stranger songs from this album. Quite honestly, not even half as bad as the people want you to think. The government, of course, but seriously, it's not that bad. The Fantano mention is inexplicable for sure. I'm not here to argue that, but the autotune doesn't sound like complete shit here, I don't think. The instrumental work is all still there, I'd say. I'm gonna go good tier behind Tap Out. Falling Out of Love, pretty painful stuff, I can't lie. This one kind of hurts because I think the bones are pretty good here. But the autotune on this one specifically is just agonizing shit, man. Top of bad song.
Starting again. Starting again.
Going to Babylon. This one's pretty good too, I think. Guitar work is super cool, really reminiscent of that earlier sound for sure, but not exactly interesting enough to be a really memorable track. It's another good tier song, textbook good. I'm gonna go behind Tap Out again. Going Shopping. Kind of mid stuff, to be honest. Just really boring. Not really anything to talk about here. Autotune bad, yada yada. Back of the decent tier. Liar's Remorse. I don't know what the fuck this is, man. Really peculiar track. Vocals have this weird tang that just makes everything here suck complete and utter ass. Instrumental work is pretty lax, but also pretty boring here. This is probably the worst song so far. I'm gonna go the coveted Dear God tier. The Fruits of Conquest. Man, this album sucks. Let's wrap this shit up, huh? Back of the Met tier. Tyrants of the Mellow Moon. A solid closer. It shows flashes of the songwriting they seem to have completely lost at this point. Pretty solid track, to be honest. Super sick guitar work throughout. Definitely one of the highlights of this album. It's a shame you have to wait 40 minutes to get there. I'm gonna go good tier behind One Way Trigger. That's all I have written here, dear viewer. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, maybe. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.